Hi, this is Adam Vaughn. This is my MTA Multimedia Final entitled Points, Lines, and Planes. So over the last month, I spent considerable time working with a group of 8th grade geometry students. The goal was to take music and kinesthetic activities and use them as learning aids for the students in the classroom. In one instance, the students were divided up into groups, given geometry terms, and asked to define those terms using rap, poetry, or spoken word, and then an associated kinesthetic activity. We then moved on to an exercise known as constructing tetras. I endeavored to take my week 2 music and put it together with this exercise and created a music video which will be used to introduce the exercise to students next year. Take a look. This is Points, Lines, and Planes.
A point is a location, not a type of transportation. It's represented by a dot. No, it can't rot. It lies on a line on which you can't sign. It's named by a capital letter. It can't get any better. What? Lines, 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 going forever. No width or thickness, going forever.
Made of points,
Named by lowercase letters. Lines, 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 going forever. They have arrows at each end.
I'm here to tell you about a plane. No, not that kind of plane. This kind of plane. A plane is a basic, undefined term of geometry. A plane is a flat surface made of points that has no depth and extends indefinitely in all directions.
It's down on me. Staring at it makes it hard to see. The light starts at the sun and goes infinitely. Traveling through space, it goes for all eternity.
You just keep your focus, and we'll explain locus when you need to anoint another set of points to go on a mission for a given condition. Now our duty is complete. Any more is obsolete.
Lately, there have been reports of rogue segment bisectors running rampant through the streets.
They have been disguised as a segment line or plane.
It's shown signs of violence by intersecting lines, segments, usually at its midpoint.
This is what it looks like. Segment.
Bisector. This is an example.
Once upon a time there was RPS, then Q came along and had a very nice bisect. An angle bisector is a ray that divides.
One angle to the two angles that share a common side.
Congruency!
an obtuse angle more than 90 degrees, less than 180, and everything in between. The sides of a stop sign, the cones in the beehive, a door swinging open, a falling wave in the ocean. An obtuse angle more than 90 degrees, less than 180, and everything in between.
Man, what you doing? Making an acute angle. Oh, man, you messed up. Acute angle less than 90 degrees. Really?
Adjacent angles share a common side. They have a common vertex that they don't hide.
They have an interior with no common point, but together the two angles are joined.
They're in the same plane. This is how adjacent angles are explained.
A pair of lines with non-common sides, infinite points on a single line.
One straight line out of the two, much like the seams on Winnie the Pooh.
Opposite rays,
For both the angles,
adjacent.
not entangles.
Two angles that up to 90 degrees are said to be complementary.
A supplementary angle is two or more angles that equal 180 degrees.
A point is a location without shape, without size, undefined with purpose. It makes up planes and lines. A line contains points, has no width, breadth, or depth. Collinear points work it, giving segments length to check. A plane is a surface made of 3+ points, having no depth, but extending infinitely in all directions. These are your undefined terms. let's get working with points, lines, planes. We'll use points, lines, planes to choose. Points, lines, planes that move. Points, lines, planes that groove. Points, lines, planes. You'll find points, lines, planes in time. Maybe separated, but you see they all just fall into line. In groups they congregate, and these three show up all of the time. Points, lines, planes we'll use. Points, lines, planes to choose. Points, lines, planes that move. Points, lines, planes that groove. Points, lines, planes. You'll find points, lines, planes in time. Maybe separated, but you see they all just fall into line. In groups they congregate, and these three show up all of the time. Points, lines, planes we'll use. Points, lines, planes to choose. Points, lines, planes we'll use. Points, lines, planes to choose. Points, lines, planes we'll use. Points, lines, planes to choose. Points, lines, planes.